In the spring, Iona had its annual scholarship gala at the Waldorf Astoria in Manhattan. Over 700 guests attended, according to Iona.edu. At this gala, Iona raised the most money in all the years of fundraising. Pat Quinn, Catherine McCabe, Hugh McCabe, and Joseph DiPaolo were all honored at this gala. Over $1.5 million was raised. Joining me now is Paul Sutera, our Senior Vice President for Advancement and External Affairs. Paul oversees all fundraising, alumni affairs, and marketing of the college. Paul, thank you so much for coming out today, joining me for this interview and for ICTV. I thank you very much. So we're going to get right into it. So most recently, on August 22nd, the new North Avenue Residence Hall, yet to be named this weekend, I'm sure. And so that opened. How do you feel about that? I mean, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about the timeline of it? And
Sure. Well, I think it's a tremendous asset for the college. I am equally excited as you to see it become some name other than the North Avenue Residence Hall. We haven't come up with a donor to date to name that facility, but we will certainly keep it on the list and part of the Iona Forever comprehensive campaign. There is certainly an opportunity to do that. The ribbon cutting, which will take place this Saturday during homecoming weekend, is, I think, a great opportunity for us to celebrate. This is the second residence hall in 4 years. This is truly an upper class living environment with truly the views of campus. In the fall, you'll be able to see the Long Island Sound, truly the Queen City on the Sound. I mean, it is wonderful. And you talk about when you come down North Avenue, it feels more and more like a college town. And so you have those 6 stories of residential living, and then that first floor will be some type of retail, whether it's an eatery or some other important activity for our students, as well as for the New Rochelle community. So you're talking about 7,000 feet of retail space that will soon become something for the campus community and the community as a whole.
no word yet on what will go there. Is it still in the process of negotiating?
They're still looking for the right vendor or vendors to come in. And again, I would say from where I sit, some type of food establishment. We really need, whether it's a diner or some kind of concept similar to that you can actually sit down and have a cup of coffee, have a meal, and then, if that's all 7,000 square feet, wonderful. If it's not, something that complements that. My colleague, Anne-Marie Scattini-Lynch, who's our CFO at Iona College, is the area and the person that's helping lead that, working with an outside recruiter, if you will, to find the right business to come in and be part of the Iona community.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what will go at the bottom. I'm sure a lot of my fellow classmates are as well. But it's just massive. Like when it was finally finished and everything, and everyone was moving in, like a lot of the media organizations from the tri-state area were covering it, and students moving in. I mean, the rooms are just beautiful. As you said, the view up on the 6th floor, I mean, the view is magnificent. I mean,
I think it's truly an Iona building. When you think about the work that the facilities folks, men and women, put together, all of our students, everyone trying to make sure that building was ready for move-in, because it's one of those, you can't miss it by a few hours, you can't miss it by a few days. And I think President Nyer shared with me that we received the temporary occupancy on a Saturday, and by that Monday we were ready to go. And it took one of those, it took a village. It took the faculty, it took the staff, it took the students, everyone coming together, kind of rowing all in the same direction to make that go. And that's just the Iona way.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing it, and it's just great that they were able to complete it all in 15 months. Quite impressive. Now, moving on to the next question I have for you. Now, what's next on the 5-year plan? Of course, this is a big accomplishment, the new residence hall. But what can students, faculty, alumni expect to see next here at the college?
Well, this is the 5th year of a 5-year strategic plan, and the strategic plan was produced by students, by faculty, by alumni, by the community, as well as the administration coming together and putting Iona first and kind of planning truly what those individual accomplishments and tasks are. So at the end of this 5th year of the plan, a group of those said individuals at Iona community will come together to put together the next 5 years. From where I sit in the world of fundraising, alumni relations, and the marketing of the college, we continue this Iona Forever, this comprehensive campaign, the largest fundraising endeavor in our 76-year history. It's $150 million, and we're at $80 million in gifts and pledges raised. We had one of the most successful, I could actually say the most successful fundraising years last year, where we brought in more than $18 million in gifts and pledges towards the campaign. And really, what is the campaign? What is Iona Forever all about? It's about retaining and attracting the best faculty, the best students. You think about affordability and creating those living and learning environments that truly help that Iona experience move forward. So when I look at what my team, President Nair as our chief fundraiser goes out and we talk to alumni and friends about, it's about the students, it's about the faculty, and it's about positioning the college for its next 75 years. And one of our board members, I can't take credit for it, talked about it's truly Iona Forever. It's not Iona for a while. And when we look at the advances in just the last 5 years, the endowment went from $52 or so million to now well over $118 million. That is going to continue with this Iona Forever campaign. When we look at affordability, we've had low tuition increases. I wish they could be lower, but it's one of those pieces that everyone is looking at and saying, how can we make this Iona education affordable so the individuals who deserve to be part of it could be part of it? And that's, again, part of the campaign. So whether it's our faculty, whether it's our students, whether it's our alumni and our friends coming together, this is what Iona is all about, and it's an exciting place to be.
Yeah, I agree, and I thought the name Iona Forever, that was a great name. You know, nice and simple, means a lot to everyone.
Simple but deep, yes.
Yes.
It's got a lot of depth to it.
Yes, of course. So last year, believe it or not, it's been a year since I interviewed you last. The 75th anniversary of the college was upon us. You know, on September 19th, 2015, that's when it was initiated, launched. Looking back, what would you say are some of the highlights?
Well, I agree with you. When we think of September 19th as a day itself, that was truly the 75th birthday of the college. So when you think of Brother Cornelia being on the steps of what now is Cornelia Hall and talking to that incoming class, 75 years to the day, President Nair speaking to our community and announcing this largest comprehensive campaign, I think is pretty impressive and purposeful in doing that. But you think about how the day built up. We had an international day of service. So students, alumni, faculty, staff coming together and living the mission. You know, we had Christian brothers in Africa and other parts of the world participating on the same day, everyone living Iona. I think that's pretty exciting piece to kind of see and kind of develop on that said day. That is when we went public, so we're a little over a year into the public phase of this campaign. I think at the time we had about $61 or so million raised, and now we're at $80 million. So a lot's happened in a year, absolutely. I think about the 75th anniversary of the college. We had 2 publications or books produced. Brother Dunkak, Advancing the Iona Legacy. He built upon Brother Quinn's the first 50 years of the college and added those next 25 years to put together kind of the Iona story through the lens of the Christian brothers. Rick Palladino, the director of the libraries, was very instrumental in the photography and some of the photos to help that book really come to life. But that's a great book to actually tell the story, tell our story. And then we had 2 young alums in Jeff and Peter who put together the Maroon and Gold Legacy, which is the 75 years of Iona athletics. And so those 2 publications themselves, we talked earlier about depth and breadth. Those really tell our story in a kind of a complete version. So those items I think I'm very proud of. I think just the community coming together and celebrating, our students, our faculty, our staff all coming together, and our alumni celebrating. And again, we talk about the endowment and where it is, and the largest freshman class to date, the most diverse freshman class, and we look at the direction or the trajectory of Iona, and there's a lot of positive momentum. That's exciting. We're a young institution, 75 and now 76 years young. It's very young, and yet I guess you would say we're out punching our weight in the sense of what we do and how we do it as a community. And you talk about fighting the good fight, Surter Bonum Surtonum. We are certainly doing that as a community, and that's exciting, that's inspiring, and I can't think of a better place to be to continue on these efforts and the energy.
Yeah, the one thing I do remember about when the campaign was started was an ad was placed in the New York Times, and I thought that was just a phenomenal way to try to expand, try to get the word out about this. There were online ads. Like, it was just a great...
You're talking about moving the world, and
yeah.
you think of where our alumni are.
Yeah.
They're truly throughout the world in what they do, whether it's the CEO of Univision and Randy Falco, who actually helped provide some of the philanthropy for the studio here, or the other individuals. I mean, the New York, New Jersey Super Bowl wasn't too far removed, and yet the CEO of that was Al Kelly, another one of the alums here from the college. So you talk about, and that's probably one of the largest international events there could be. He also helped Mr. Kelly with the Pope's visit to the States, which occurred in our 75th, and we had students participate in that. So you talk about moving the world. It happens on this campus, and the individuals from this campus continue to move it forward.
Yeah, no, that was such great timing when Pope Francis came.
It's almost like we planned it.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he went to Philadelphia, New York, Washington. It was so great that he was able to stop here in New York, and you had alumni, faculty, staff, and even students go to MSG.
You think of, and again, I try to put myself in the student's shoes to be able to have that experience in your 4-year kind of Iona kind of story. I don't think it could get more powerful than that.
Yeah, and I can only wait till the 100th year of the anniversary of the college. And
I like the way you're thinking. We should put the committee together now and have you be part of that. It's never too early to celebrate the 100th.
Oh yeah, no, and make an even bigger bash to celebrate our history.
Incidentally, we had students, faculty, staff, alumni, as well as community members on the 75th Planning Committee. And Victor Stanionis, one of our stellar faculty members, was actually on the 50th celebration. So he was the chair of the 50th, and we also had him participating on the 75th. So we had some of that legacy. So Victor, I look forward to seeing you on the 100th.
Yeah, I can only wait for it. Okay, so in the spring at the Waldorf Astoria Scholarship Gala that is held every year for the college, over $1.5 million was raised. What can Iona students, faculty, alumni expect to see that money going?
I think you shared it, and you shared it well in the sense it's for scholarship.
Right.
When we think about giving out record amount of scholarship for our students, that is one of the vehicles that help us do that. That evening was very special because it honored 3 Ionians. It honored the McCabe family. Kay and Hugh McCabe are people who have had such a long career with the college. I think between their kids, their grandkids, and a son-in-law, they've had 11 Iona degrees, or individuals come through the Iona community. Joe DiPaolo was the other individual who was honored, and he's the founder and CEO of Signature Bank, one of the fastest growing banks in the country. And then we have the Blessed Edmund Rice Humanitarian Award, which Cardinal Dolan has won, the Rivera's family, and Mariano and Clara Rivera, and that was awarded to Pat Quinn, who is, you talk about fighting a good fight, an alum who is been stricken with the ALS and has really, you talk about Ice Bucket Challenge and the fundraising and the philanthropy, over $100 million that has gone to find a cure, and he's one of the driving forces behind that. We just incidentally, our athletic director, Rick Cole, our head women's basketball coach, Billy Gotzi, and myself were just challenged last week by an alumnus in Texas to participate in the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Wow.
And we did so wholeheartedly because, one, it makes sense, it's the right thing to do, and to support one of our alums in Pat Quinn. I know President Nyer every year kind of leads the charge on the on that La Penta grass area there in front of the student union, and this is just another way of Iona community coming together.
Yeah, no, at the recent Ice Bucket Challenge back in September, it was just great to see all the students come out and support the cause. Another thing is they made those videos of each alumni at the gala. I was actually in the Pat Quinn one where he's the definition of courage. I thought that was a great idea to show at the gala and just to show how much the Iona community appreciates all of our alumni.
And you talk about being a student and participating in that.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Jim Hines, our chairman of the board, said, when I was a student, I had the ability to participate in that type of event, and it had a profound effect on me and my relationship with the college. And so when he was being honored, he made it a point to purchase and provide philanthropy for over 100 students to participate. The Board of Trustees kind of took the torch, as well as some of our important donors, to have even more students, as you know, this past year, participate in it. And I think it's a piece. I think the energy that happens there, you talk about raising scholarship dollars for the product being the students and having the philanthropists and the students in the room at the same time interacting. I think it's a great recipe for success.
And since this was the most money raised
to date. We're always trying to make the next year the largest to date. But yes, $1.5 million of...
Yeah, so did that lead to Iona accepting more students, getting a bigger class?
No, they weren't connected to that, but we give out a lot of scholarship. We are now at the level of the most scholarship that the college has ever done, and it's not all fully endowed. And so the more we're able to provide, the more helpful it is to that budget line and to make sure that we have enough scholarship to give out. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Paul, thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and I do appreciate it. And if you want to learn more about the Iona College scholarships and the Iona Forever campaign, you can head over to iona.edu, and all the information is listed there.